Right. Continuing the shredding of all things that move around here, and then randomly picking every 10th body to loot, and whatevs. There's always sprats! I almost pressed C. I almost fell for it again.
Wish I could do that.
You can, but we've been over this. Just practice. You're on a ship doing... I guess you probably like manage something about the whatevs. The engine. Hey guys. Hiding anything actually worthwhile around here?
Nice and quick.
Nice and quick. Am I hearing Rubits? Bad day for him. That was just where I started. I looped around. This is the same room the secretary was in. They reused the same room. You can't trick me. I see you're copy pasting. Where am I going? Wait, I wasn't expecting that to loop into the direction it did. Wait, where am I going? How doth one get up there? I ended last episode thinking that was like the path to take.
Deft hands, Cap.
Now I ain't sure where I'm going. Here's a ladder. That is the front room. Sure. But I need a way of going higher, apparently. Maybe through that pipe? I think it just ends there. Not super promising.
Oh, you got that?
Yeah, it might be worth deconstructing. Well. This map has proven more labyrinthine than expected. I think this is... Oh wait, is there just an elevator in here? Is this just an elevator? Oh, there's just a staircase right here. Alright, well, I'm the fool. I thought that was the door back to the lobby. Oh, I guess it is. It's the elevator back to the lobby. Do I have the right quest object? Yeah, okay. But maybe I was supposed to go back outside. Oh. This is a new elevator. I think leaving through a vertical elevator reminded me of the previous planet. And so I thought it was backtracking when I got here. Activate the turbine. Diagnosis. Maintenance required. Oh, should I have done that first? Oh, robot. Zooming in was a mistake. Way too much scope for this kind of fight. I'm in slow-mo. We should be plenty strong to fight basically anything at this point. Where can I find any enemies though?
Just getting started.
Is it over? It's over, okay. I couldn't find the enemies. Come on over, buddy. Come fight us. Oh god. Those homing shots? I'd rather get slowed and damaged by the fall than use the ladders manually. Parvati? What are you losing against these guys for? They're like babies. Look at them. Do I need to take the next Mark III gun? I don't really like using super heavy guns. Seems a bit much. Should I check to see if I have one right now? I do. Probably take that over the shotgun that seems to be trash. Oh, there's enemies. I accidentally started a fight with that shot. That's funny. This thing does have a like power to it that's kind of satisfying. Maybe I'll get used to it. I just want to have a really powerful single shotgun though. I like that. 500. Science guns are kind of I think at the end of the playthrough in the original campaign, I think I was gearing up to take some more of the science talents to make them useful. But I've been less going that way. Oh, encumbered am I? Sorry. No! God damn it. That sucks. This is why it's annoying to have to process so many fucking weapons. All right, I just destroyed my weapon. Fuck, there we go again. Hammersmith. What even kind of weapon is this? I'm never using the gloop gun again. Who cares? I accidentally sold my auto gun. That's annoying. I guess it just needs to have a target. And this one's an explodey boy. Yeah, that's annoying. Thankfully, the Mark III machine gun seems relatively common, but I get used to using it for 2 seconds and immediately accidentally dismantle it. God damn it. Because you just want to go fast. You want to go QE, QE, QE. Like, you got so many fucking items, you just want to rapidly go through it, but if you mess up the sequence, you're going to equip one of the items and then dismantle the one that you were trying to keep. It's processing a lot of loot's fucking annoying. Offline. Security turrets are non-operational due to critical damage. Okay. So that just would have turned them off. But we found a faster solution. And now it works. I'm out.
So, wasn't really following what you did there, but I guess it worked.
Button don't work, so flip 2 switches, now button work. The end. Just carry the giant guns and win for me. It's your only job. It's so dark right now. What's up? Oh, that's gonna hurt. Ha! Good thing I heal fast from leg injuries. What's that?
The facility's back on the grid, and my pipes again floweth with the sweet, sweet essence of my salvation. I suppose I have you to thank for realigning the machine. Of course, Jasper, you imbecile.
It's done. Now get me inside the chem lab.
You'll need my voice to get into the chem lab. I'm obviously not coming with you, so I'm giving you a recording of my dulcet speech. This recording should get you into the chem lab. I hope whatever you're after is worth the trauma. I wouldn't go back there if I was higher than the mercury levels in a can of salt tuna. Wait, take my gun while you're at it. If you end up dying on Gorgon, there's a non-zero chance I'll feel partially responsible. Neither of us want that.
You can enable him with more adrenaline time, Jesus. I don't need help with the security.
Solutions
Thanks.
are clamoring. I must refocus my attention for the moment. Goodbye.
Yeah, let's not pressure the addled drug boy into that. He's got his own stuff to work through. And admittedly, he's going to be enabling himself forever, so it's not a great situation. But there's no real benefit to bringing him along. See, he's not all that bad. He even wanted to, like, give me more to, like, help me not die on the mission that he has no stake in. He's looking out for me. You get a sense, like, he wasn't this, like, lunatic, auteur idiot that was dooming everyone because of his own bad ideas alone, and everyone just had to... Because there's often a thing where, like, the leader is cracking the whip and everybody has to, like, move to their step even though they know that they're all in the wrong. And then they're like, God damn it, this guy's gonna get us all killed or whatever. But no, like, as we found out, they were all enabling each other, and it's kind of everyone's fault except the secretary. And maybe one or two other people, obviously. But, like, it was a collective fuck up. Because it turns out people making the drugs might just start using them. There's a reason why there was a policy to not do that. Oh yeah, that's where I put the rando stuff. Yeah. Yeah, there's a unique darkness to the woman that was testing things on people. She was worrying in an all-new distressing way compared to a lot of the other people. When companions kill an enemy, the party gains 20% crit chance. Jeez. They're getting pretty good at doing that, so it's probably worth doing. I wish he would get the help that he needs, but he's not going to. And I don't have the option to do that. I technically enabled him a bit, but I don't feel that bad because he was aggressively doing it to himself already, and I didn't really know the extent of his problem yet. In fact, I was going into that conversation thinking I was going to end the conversation murdering him because the other person was so shit that I'm thinking I don't want this person to survive.
Stars. Don't it make you feel small in the best way?
But then by the end, I felt bad about shooting him, so surprises all around, I guess. This must be the part where I said, like, it's not the best choice.
So exciting.
As a password.
I've never seen a voice lock in action before.
Doc Lowe seems like the kind of guy who needs to get the last word in.
This facility is currently experiencing. Please.
We attest to the Zest with our hand on our chest. Be impressed as our guest by what we've finessed. You are blessed to ingest what we thoroughly test. You've tried the best, now try the rest. Spacer's choice.
Passphrase accepted. Access granted. Welcome, Dr. Jasper Lowe.
You've tried the best, now try the rest. So what a self-defeating statement, but that's obviously the point. Turns out...
Run this place. Made the drug that turned decent folk into marauders. I can't imagine living with that kind of guilt.
It makes me wonder how often Auntie... what's... Chem or whatever... The Auntie Lady's company with all of her chem companies... chem groups developing drugs in remote locations... It really shows how irresponsible her approach is of just abandoning these people for a year and then checking in later. It's like, I guess that's why they have the pink split, the pink slip initiative or protocol or whatever set up in the first place. They just fucking execute you. If you can't hold your own and manage yourself, they just fucking murder you because you're not worth the effort of like rehabilitation or medical insurance or figuring out how to keep your genius but like manage your symptoms and your addictions and whatnot. And they're the people that make the stuff that's addictive in the first place, and they don't even have a policy for how to help their own employees with it, let alone the whole world they're throwing those things out to. It's really fucking dark. Urgent notification. This urgent notification brought to you by Spacer's Choice Automated Subversive Behavior Notification System. Please be informed that one or more of the following high priority conditions are likely to be active in your office or workplace. Escaped primals, unlawful discussion of subversive cultural material, extended and unauthorized breaks. Wow, it's just as bad as the other ones. Please notify your supervisor immediately. If you are the designated supervisor of this workplace, this message constitutes your official notification. This is an automated response. Please do not respond directly to this message. Like, so we know it was caused by escape primals, but but it's like just as catastrophic apparently, and worthy of this warning are someone's taking breaks they're not supposed to, or somebody's planning on unionizing. Code red. It's not the best choice. From Huang to Lowe. Jasper, I've been taking your messages at my terminal like you asked. This one's for management, though. Please take a look at this. I can get in trouble for deleting it. Corrective measures. Dr. Lowe, I speak for everyone at the OCI when I express my disappointment in your work ethic. The quality of Compound X harvested and enriched at your laboratory falls well below Spacer Choice's standards. It is my professional opinion that the quality of one's work reflects the quality of one's spirit. Lazy workers deliver lazy work. Round up your researchers. Fire 1 in 10. I expect you and your remaining researchers to deliver the next batch of chemicals to HIA under an accelerated timetable. These measures may seem punitive, even harsh. They are. I am instilling discipline in your team. One day I'd like to imagine you'll thank me. No. Respectfully, Lawrence Goodfellow, Manager, Office of Creative Incubation. Work fortifies the spirit. From Huang to Lowe, please respond. Jasper, I know you told me not to bother you when you're working, but I'm running out of options. I understand you're busy, so I've boiled down my list of concerns to simple yes-no questions. Just respond with YRN. Did you read Goodfellow's letter? Am I on the chopping block? Has security talked to you about the type of corporate spy in our ranks? Is there a spy? Did you know Padilla's heart gave out after a 72-hour shift? Are you attending the wake? I've got staff coming to the receptionist desk looking for answers. What am I supposed to tell them? It's not the best choice. It's the only choice we've got. Are you going to respond? N. Respectfully, Jasper Lowe. Just N? So he just didn't pay attention to any of it? No to all of it, I guess, is the idea, right? So he didn't read the letter, so you're not on the chopping block because he doesn't even know what that is. He doesn't know about the spy, and he doesn't know about the dead guy. He's not going to the wake. And across the board is supposed to be the idea, I suppose. Distressing. From Huang to Tanaka. Lost key? Chief, I found a key in a locker, but lavatories. The key belongs. That's what just say bathroom or something. What a confusing word to deal with when you actually have laboratories because you're at a chem lab. The key belongs to Dr. Lowe. Please retrieve the key and return it to him. I do it myself, but Dr. Lowe can be pretty paranoid. If I show up at his door with a key in hand, he'll assume I stole it in order to fabricate a reason to check up on him. Would you do that? Did you steal it to fabricate a reason for somebody else to check on him by proxy for you? I could be paranoid for him. Yeah, Dr. Lowe has problems and should not be in a leadership situation. The fact that he was this bad already. And then Cleo. There we go. Auntie Cleo. hired him for a similar position of power with drugs once again. It's just poor choices all around. I wonder if this entire fucking solar system basically just runs with the idea that you must be a good employee if you're alive, because otherwise you would have been killed by now by your employer, because so many employers just kill their employees. Hi. Ow. I didn't realize how fast that gun could shoot. How far back am I? I hate that picture so much. God, I hate that picture. Where am I? Do we need to redo all these? No? Okay, so we're not that far back. I didn't realize how fast this gun shot. I'm like, what? I thought the DPS was supposed to be good. Why is it so shit? And I was confused by how little damage I was doing. If I just play this area again for a bit, I'll get a heavy machine gun like before. Or a light machine gun? LMG, I guess it's called. Also, my Rubits will take care of them for me. Generally speaking. I call them Rubits. You're not robots, you're people. Until further notice. There's so much gun ammo just everywhere in a lab. Damage to data storage detected. Memory malfunction detected. Unable to retrieve data. Diagnostics? Bad. Missing everything. Data, samples, analysis, blah blah blah. One log remaining. To whom it may concern. This morning, I and my colleagues gathered in the reception hall. Every 10th staff member at the laboratory was released from service. I am one of them. My indenturement contract to Spacer's Choice, which stipulates a lifetime of productive service as a researcher in the field of organic chemistry, has been terminated. I have served Spacer's Choice for most of my life. Working at Gorgon facility is the highlight of my career. If I leave Gorgon, I will have nowhere else to go. Because my contract guaranteed my work for the duration of my life, to end that contract is tantamount to ending my life. If you have the power to reconsider your decision, I ask you kindly to reconsider. I am willing to work without pay if necessary. This job is all I have. Please allow me to fortify my spirit by continuing to work. Respectfully, Ji Zhang. Huh. That's surprising. That's better than I was expecting. Obviously, summarily firing 10% of your staff just as a punishment is very unethical and fucked up, but I thought they were being murdered. I thought that we're still dealing with the idea of killing people when their lifetime indenturement is being terminated. That implies that you can do a bad enough job and just get fired, and then you don't have to deal with being indentured anymore. That's like good news, basically. From Zhang to Lowe. Research notes. Dr. Lowe, I'm afraid I don't know where your research notes are. I searched materials processing and discreetly asked the receptionist, but nothing turned up. If I had to guess, you left them in the basement laboratory. I'd venture down there myself, but you know how I feel about primals. I apologize for the weakness of my constitution. Sir, if your research notes do turn up in the basement, may I ask you to think favorably when the OCI asks you for a budget review? Word about the lab is that Goodfellow and the other leaders of the OCI want to make some deep cuts to our staff. If there's any truth to this rumor, I hope you'll remember that I've always supported your desire to find a better, safer version of AT. Respectfully, Ji Zhang. And what happened there? Did he get fired for bothering him because that's his level? Or did he get fired because his assistant had to just sort of throw something together at random, basically, because you didn't do it yourself?
Show me how you did that.
No. Look closer, or you'll never learn.
Roscoe, it's Georgie. If you're hearing this, you must still be holed up at the Sprat Shack. And you're not gonna like this one bit. I was trying to steal our recordings when things went crazy. I know. Like I said, sorry. And I'm gonna be in a heap of trouble if I don't get them, so if you want to save my bacon, you need to do it for me. I need the 3 interviews we did with Ambrose, this one here, plus another recording of my own. I left that last one with a guy who owed me a favor at the garbage processing office in the chemical waste ravine. I'll leave an automech near Stellar Freighting. It'll want all 5 recordings, plus a passphrase. Glacial Age. Oh, and don't listen to my log, all right? Just stay safe and keep your head down.
Don't listen to my log. What are you trying to keep secret? Hi. Is this a good gun?
Looks like we're doing this.
Wasn't sure if it was going to fire at all at first.
That's the last of
I think maybe I have to get really close. Like real close.
What is Mr. Lowe doing with all these primals?
He was not doing human testing. Thank you very much. Okay, I can't tell how this gun works. I can't get it to fire most of the time. It's really annoying. I'm gonna go back to this guy. Is this the right gun? I feel like it used to be faster. Is it because I'm in slow-mo mode because of the pain? Did I accidentally replace it with a different gun or something? It's got okay deeps. I guess you don't get the opportunity to find this place without meeting him first. I was gonna say, if you could have found this place first, you might have had a false idea of what he was up to and thought that he was up to something dastardly. Which, depending on your opinion on animal testing, kind of. But it was specifically to avoid the human testing that was happening next door. He was specifically trying to better test it on animals because they were being forced to create the stuff on a rushed timetable. And he was trying to get something better specifically for the sake of the human subjects being tested on.
System security.
Heads up, boss!
The exit is sealed, of course it is.
Must be Doc Lowe's old office.
Yep, green blood because they're primals.
You survived. You're remarkably intent on scuttling my every plan. Indeed, how inconsiderate. Especially after I've gone through so much effort to see Gorgon rest in peace. Waking it up.
But Gorgon's been a ruin for years. You think they've been here the whole time?
The Project Gorgon's dead, right? It's shut down for good. There's no way anybody could get this place running again.
Is this mysterious figure keeping it running to keep making more marauders or something? I was trying to walk closer to the voice because it was quiet, but I couldn't really find anywhere to get closer. Admin functions. Override lockdown. Alert, executive lockdown must be overridden at human inquiry. Turn to loot. Root. Messages incoming. From Ambrose to Chem Lab. Updated security protocols, high priority. Pursuant to last week's incident, new security practices are now in effect. All lab personnel must tidy their workstations at the end of their shift. Close and lock all drawers, safes, closets, vents, and lab doors before leaving for the day. All visitors must be accompanied. Furthermore, any laboratory tech accompanying a guest who has not received certification in either self-defense or hand-to-hand combat must also be accompanied by a member of the security team. All confidential information must remain as such. Do not discuss the nature of your work outside of or inside the lab, except to warn peers of imminent danger such as fire, chemical spill, or suspected corporate espionage. All laboratory techs are to isolate themselves until further notice. Any laboratory tech found fraternizing in groups of 2 or more, or found speaking with the same person more than once, will be reprimanded to Spacer's Choice Human Resource Re-education and Reallocation Department. Finally, unless you are actually physically sitting in an interview session pre-approved by me, do not speak to the fucking journalists. Olivia Ambrose. Sounds like someone that had nothing to hide. AT concerns to Low J. Jasper, I dug into the volunteer data Marion sent over. You were right. The current formulation is resulting in alarming outcomes, even by SC standards. Priantha and I performed a handful of autopsies on this week's deceased and made a few notable observations. In one case, that of a young man in his early 20s, we noted a degree of gray matter loss one would expect to see in a man of 70. His brain had also atrophied to a shocking extent, again, as one might expect in a much older man. In another case, that of a woman in middle age, the subject was no longer able to achieve natural sleep. Oh, yep, that's what we heard about before. After 11 consecutive days of wakefulness, she was no longer able to distinguish her violent hallucinations from reality. Even as she spiraled, she demanded additional injections. I was sure that our last tweak would reduce the incidence of violence among the volunteer population. We might attempt to further refine the compound through partitioning, though I'm doubtful that would be efficacious. Violence aside, I'm growing increasingly concerned about the habit-forming nature of the compound. What do you think, Ollie? Yeah, no, everything you're doing is bad. The whole project basically needs to be cancelled. What the fuck? From Ambrose, monthly physicals, high priority. The materials we work with are dangerous and will result in permanent injury, disfigurement, or madness when handled for extended periods. Therefore, all laboratory personnel will now report to the project physician, Dr. Priantha LeBlanc, for monthly physicals and psychiatric evaluations. I do this out of an abundance of caution. Schedule your first appointment immediately and notify me when you do. I have access to your medical records, so I will know when you shirk. Do not make me drag you to his office myself. Dr. Olivia Ambrose, Project Director, Spacer's Choice Pharmaceuticals Research and Development.
Since we've been traveling together, we've visited a lot of places that set my teeth on edge. This here makes my skin crawl.
Halcyon's got no shortage of creepy science labs, boss. But this place? There's something real twisted about this place.
Something went very wrong.
You know me, I don't got a head for science and formulas and whatnot. But even I can tell that something went horribly wrong here. And a lot of people got hurt.
The folks down here dedicated their lives to fixing Halcyon. They were supposed to be the company's best and brightest. How'd they lose their way?
Alright, sit down, Parvati. I'm gonna tell you a lesson about capitalism going unchecked. Oh, she never grows up. She can never imagine outside of that world, and she can never proceed. She can never process the idea of what's going on here. They were pushed to do the impossible by people who weren't accountable.
That might have been enough for me back in Edgewater. But after all we've seen of Halcyon, Captain, someone should have said no.
Yeah.
I get now why Miss Ambrose would want to clear her mom's name. If the folks responsible for Edgewater's woes tried to blame him on my dad, I couldn't have let it stand.
I want to see what this investigation digs up. I am not invested in clearing her mother's name. I am a neutral party. One that is none too pleased with what I'm seeing from her mother so far. Unless I'm forgetting her name and mixing her up with other characters.
A smart fellow like Mr. Lowe would know better than to test his super drug on primals.
Yeah, no, they're super primals. Could have been worse. There could have been more dead people. But yeah. Rude. Wow, they didn't even teleport to us when they went under. They just stayed over there. Apparently the drug didn't make them very smart. Where are we going? Aqua Regia. Regia. Aqua Regia. What are those? Rods. This all gives me Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 Secret of the Ooze vibes.
Out of here. I think I got primal guts all over my ass-kicking boots.
I bought you those boots and your whole getup, which looks better than mine, and I'm mad about it. Why can't I have a combat suit that has good stats? I mean, I was wearing it earlier, but this one has better stats apparently. And that annoys me. Not that I ever see what I look like anyway, so who knows? What do I look like? Nobody knows. I mean, we kind of know sometimes. That guy. God, that's armor. No. Armor rating. There we go. 89. Get it. 108. Get it. I wish it would. It doesn't even remember what you sort by. Name, value, weight to value. You can't even sort by armor value on this screen. That's weird. The things you can sort by changing screen. Oh, that's way stronger. Okay. Now you get to look like a nerd. It's disappointing, I know. Sorting by value, the top thing is, I guess it probably has good stats, so it probably makes sense. I just want to sort by how good the armor is. It won't let me do it. Oh, did we run out of good stuff? Basically. Gonna have to loot more armors. They leveled up past a threshold again. Yeah, this is the thing where you can make them more of a tank or less of a tank. 10% increased damage. How did I not have that one already? Shit. Maybe I was leaving the door open to the idea that they might use melee weapons sometimes, but at this point, that weapon's hilariously strong. That guy just exploded. Yes, run straight at me in a line. Good plan. How do they have no weapons and armor on them? They were just fighting me. You can't trick me. Womp womp.
Something stinks real bad.
Oh, it reeks like death warmed over. I'm gonna hurl.
Welcome to Human Inquiry Monitoring, a Spacer's Choice facility.
Oh, they're test subjects. I was like, how the fuck are there people in here? How long have you been in here? You're still finding food in here to eat? And you show up as an enemy to me, but do you guys attack each other? You guys have like some kind of, I don't know, truce going on in here?
Tested them until they broke. Walk softly, Captain. Some of them still live here, and I hate to be disturbed.
Incoming messages from Blakesley to all personnel. Safety guidelines. In order to minimize damage to company property and/or personnel, please observe the following guidelines during the volunteer induction process. Do not touch and/or handle test subjects. Please defer to security personnel. Avoid using inflammatory phrases such as untested chemicals. Consider patented Spacer's Choice formula. Test subject. Consider valued volunteer. Cells. Consider living quarters. Oh, the cells, not cells in the body. Remind subjects that compliance is one of the requirements of their contract with Spacer's Choice. Do not interrupt Spacer's Choice communications and/or marketing while directing volunteers. Architect's balls, is that all the guidelines? Look, these people are coming here from Tartarus. Don't let your guard down. Don't get friendly and don't get close. If everyone does their job right, these volunteers will leave this facility as free and upstanding citizens. No. They'll get murdered by the testing process, you dumb motherfucker. Oh, you're not dumb. You knew that. You were the one doing it. Upcoming changes. In light of certain recent developments, our friends at OCI have generously provided us with advice and guidelines intended to ensure the best possible outcomes for our research here at Human Inquiry and Auditing. To that end, we will be establishing new testing parameters and volunteer preparation guides, effective immediately. These guidelines will be provided to you at your stations. I really would like to congratulate you, all of you, on what you've achieved so far. Keep your head down and your minds focused on the work, and the rest will come easy. If you have any concerns, kindly forward them to my assistant, Benjamin Morley. From Morley to Sonoda. Response to question. Every volunteer means just that, Miss Sonoda. We are entering a vital phase of the testing process, and that means every volunteer participates in the trials. It's all the more critical that we maintain careful records of the dosages involved, of course. We're counting on you for that. Somebody was trying to push back a bit, it sounds like. Sonoda to Weaver, help. Weaver, have you seen my office keycard? If this is one of your little tests, it's not funny. Security is always at full burn. They're gonna lose their bolts if they catch me taking the long way around the faculty areas. Please tell me it's sitting on your desk or something. Oops, you talked about it on a computer system. That's a breach of security protocols. And also they're gonna know now, because they probably read your emails, and so that now they're gonna bust their bolts. Just like you were afraid. No, there's constant bad data security in this game because people and in a lot of like 0451 style games in general ish. Not that this game's entirely one of those really, but a lot of like System Shocky kind of games. You get a lot of like people having really bad password security by sharing it around so many places. It's the entire reason why they're findable.
I don't know how anybody volunteers to live in a place like this.
3 at a time.
Homie, almost. Whatever brought these folks here, they were just people, same as us.
Yeah, I don't know. This pretty fascist-looking poster is not gonna get me saying that the area looks homey, and this pretty fascist-looking propaganda that usually is directed at a particular race. Alien heavy on like the red backgrounds and shit. They know what they were doing. Gross bathroom. This is too many drugs.
This office environment is where we will test your communication, paper management, and self-motivation skills. This is your time to shine.
It's not your time to shine. They have robots on their team? You don't have to contrive an excuse to have fighting in every single room, guys. Like, jeez. I don't know, I see it as a rough thing where combat is seen as the default verb all the time in so many RPGs. On our podcast, Colonel and I talk about this a lot, about RPGs having this problem. And like, this is supposed to be me walking through the devastation of what they did to people. And you wouldn't really expect to find any surviving people in here all these years later, because they've been sealed in here. So I'm like, how the fuck are any of them still alive? And also, like, it's just another... Like, it's like... They're going to great extents to show how these people are all tested upon, and they've been, like, turned into these... They've been turned into combatants forcefully, and they're losing their minds. So it's like, I'm just knowing that I'm gunning down drug addicts at this point that can't control themselves and need help. So this is just depressing at this point. And also we're extrapolating out, as far as I can tell, we're apparently implying that this is every marauder you fought all game. So instead of being like a crazy Office Space joke, like, oh my god, it's Steve from accounting or whatever his name was, isn't it? Everyone has that one office worker they really hate from their job, right? Well, this one's a juggernaut man. He's gonna get you. It's like, now it's like, oh, he's a drug-addled, poor person that just needs someone to actually look out for him, and I gunned him down, and that's basically the only verb available to me. So this is just getting sad.
Where they did their experiments. Watch their prisoners claw their eyes out and go screaming mad. Probably took notes.
It feels like they tried to go back and explain why the game is so combat heavy and full of fighting marauders over and over again, even because like from day one on Greenvale or whatever it's called, the first planet, immediately I was like, this seems like a lore-breaking number of enemies that I'm fighting that are just here all the time in such great numbers. And we already felt bad back then because they were apparently, we were under the impression they were people that worked there. That were like, they were people from the colony that got kicked out because they didn't conform well enough to the company's bullshit. So they were basically the people that I was most directly aligned with ideologically, and I'm just sad that I'm gunning them all down when, like, they're in the right for not conforming to that place forever. But now we're like, and also they're all warped by drugs, and you're fucked.
I don't feel good at all.
Yeah, exactly. I don't feel good at all. This is just... This was dark when we went by what the game told me from day one, but now it's just getting distressing. Like, because they're not going to turn around and... I'm not going to, like, learn a lesson and stop fighting things. Like, the game has endless enemies that are mandatory part of the game. And, it's just making all of the fighting I do more depressing. And all the stuff I've done in the past retroactively more depressing.
No more. I can't take this.
You know, it's not good.
We've seen enough.
Yeah, this is not a wacky, fun sci-fi adventure that you guys are looking for having. Sorry, guys. Turns out we're the monsters. Guys, we killed King Kong because we're bad people. This is where I started? Oh yeah, it is. It's not the best choice, but you have no other choices. Is the real morality of the game. From Sandoval to Zero. Wasn't Sandoval from the other planet? Bet? I don't want to play anymore. Let's just do our jobs, okay? Oh, Victoria Sandoval? Maybe not. I was thinking of the place that's supposed to be like the most dangerous planet in the main game. It's just covered in monsters and gangs. This week's bet. Alright, my 10 bits are on 52F. I know what you're thinking, he's so skinny, he's got bad odds. But I'm a gambling man, Victoria, and I've got an eye for this now. What do you think? No, I'm not talking about the subjects, Vicky. I'm talking about the numbers. I've been keeping track of how many bodies we process each day and every week, and the number fluctuates, but never too much. 1 and 3, 2 and 5, and 1 and 1, and 2. And then 10. Just look at the chart I left on your desk. You can see for yourself that there's a pattern. You see it, right? What pattern? Suddenly a 10? Are you saying that someone's trying to communicate a message via the rate at which the bodies are being processed? Or are you saying that there's normally a pattern and that they have a similar number of deaths and then suddenly there was a spike? It was all small numbers and then 10. Anyway, as predicted, here I am. I got my super gun back. Try not to accidentally sell it this time. Not selling, but it's not that. It's not selling, if you think about it. HIA Visitation Protocols. The Human Auditing and Inquiry Facility is a dedicated research facility and houses a considerable quantity of hazardous materials, machinery, and personnel. As such, no external visitors are to be permitted at any time absent express permission from the HIA testing supervisor, Dr. Marion Blakesley. If you suspect a visitor does not have the appropriate credentials, please observe the following procedures. Stay calm. Notify nearby security personnel of your suspicions. Wait for security personnel and or equipment to finish disposing of the visitor. Whoa. The visitor will be eliminated. Complete an incident report per official guidelines. Remember to use Spacer's Choice approved formatting and language. At no point should you leave your workstation unattended. Leaving your workstation unattended will be considered a severe security breach and may result in a fine and or summary termination of your employment with Spacer's Choice. The supervisor has posted the following addendum. Right, that's the official shit. If we do get visitors, inform me at once, if they're from other departments. If it's Dr. Ambrose, don't get in her way, but log her every move. If it's Clarence Mosley, keep him at reception. I'll come down in person to see what this law-given miracle myself. If Jasper Lowe or anyone else from Chem turns up, let them stew at reception. I'll send assistants Morley down eventually. Not to be confused with Mosley. They want the people from Chem to just fuck off, basically. That's how little people from Chem had impact on how fucked up the testing was here. They couldn't even come in. HIA is on lockdown until further notice. Do not let anyone into the facility until the escaped volunteers are located. I'm going to check volunteer induction for any signs of fugitives. If you receive any keycard access notifications in the next 20 minutes, ignore them. That's not opening. So that was the front door. Originally. High enough hacking that I actually have to use some of my currency for it. Still have 1 billion of those though. You can't stop me.
Did you enjoy the show? I didn't. You should have left Gorgon in its grave, where it belongs. Now I'm afraid I have to find a more permanent way to put you down. It's a good thing then that I finally figured out what you're after. I'll see you soon, little weasel.
This is sick. I can't bear it any longer.
Are we being stalked? Is that what's going on? Because I don't mind having secret admirers and all, but this is getting a little creepy.
What if it's just the mom? Like, surprise! Broken datapad. Our first test group should be here in just a few hours. I suppose I should be catching up on sleep, but it's far more important to mark the occasion. I really think we can achieve something here. Every citizen of Halcyon wants to be of use, deep down. Ugh. Only because you've fully indoctrinated them. If this compound can restore industry and work ethic, even to outlaws and miscreants, we won't need places like Tartarus anymore. Dissidents will be a thing of the past. Chem has The opiate for the masses, literally, I guess. Chem has sent over its first shipment of this mystery drug, and the testing chambers are operational. Once we've proven out our methods, it will be that much easier to convince OCI to invest in better equipment. Guys, you're inviting the possibility of drugs that control people to better exploit them for GDP, which is barely has at any point to begin with. And you're welcoming it because you view it as like a way to control the pores, which you look down on so much that you think they need to be fixed. Not seeing how it's going to wrap back around to you.
Yeah, there you are. Is this... It's off, right? I don't understand these contraptions.
Dr. Blakesley, ma'am, I've come to say that it's time. I'm gonna do it.
Do what?
I'm gonna try for one of the shuttles.
You little shit. You've lost your mind.
If I can just make it to the landing pad, I'll be free.
Be reasonable, Morley. The project is almost over. We'll be out of here by October.
Ma'am, it's January. You're recording, by the way.
Damn it!
You guys don't even know when it was anymore. That's worrying. Let's cleaning up that lockdown. I guess we might be getting near the end of this one, huh? Manufacturing center status. Open. Overwritten. Incoming messages. From Ambrose to Blakesley. Frequency of testing updates. Marion, it's been 3 weeks. Where the fuck are the reports from HIA? Deliver them to me by the end of the day, or deliver me your letter of resignation. I'm done asking. In the future, you will send me bi-weekly reports of HIA's status. These reports will include an inventory of test subjects, which version of the Gorgon compound they have been administered, how frequently those administrations have occurred, and who has been administering them. These reports will append... to these reports, you will append a mortality record. This record will include an accounting of the burn-down rate of our current stock of volunteers and compound ampules, in addition to a thorough analysis of their injuries. I want to see charts, Mari. Big fucking charts with lots of precious little numbers. And before you ask, bi-weekly means twice a week. Don't pretend you don't know what I mean. The non-specificities of language, in that you can easily mistake it for being every other week, because it's just a weird fucking mistake we made with English, apparently. The burn down rate. Referring to the deaths of their subjects as the burn down rate of their stock. Like livestock. Yeah, I'm sure the mom is completely innocent and her name's super cleared by all this. Condolences, etc. Marion, personalize and forward the following notes to the families of the deceased volunteers. Take carbon copies and send those to Lucien at the usual address. Make certain he gets every single one. Ollie. Dear Name. It is with regret that I write to inform you of the death of your relation, Name. They died peacefully, attended by their fellows. Please accept our sympathies in this difficult time. Though it may offer you little comfort, know that your relation died in the service of a better, more productive Halcyon. Gross. Gross. Also, no, they didn't. But it's gross even if you succeeded. In accordance with the agreement, Name, signed with Tartarus Corrections, a division of United Defense Logistics, their term of incarceration is now considered complete. Wow, fucking great. What a fucking load off their shoulders. Great to know that they no longer have a posthumous prison sentence. Jesus Christ. And as a Let's Player and a YouTube channel person, you just know some people are going to receive this form when it was supposed to be personalized and it's not, because I do all the time. I get so many fucking emails where it's either the blanks are still in where my name was supposed to be, or I get somebody else's name. Like, I've gotten emails that are meant to be sent to Ragnaroks before. Imagine that for a fucking death certificate. Oh my god.